Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in show for this Sunday, October 12th, 2025. This is number 180 in the series of call-ins. Yeah, we're moving right along to another benchmark as we deliver boxing conversation for Sunday mornings. The aftermath, so to speak, huh? Yeah, for the hangover. Yeah! And yesterday we had another full day of boxing. Yeah, we had a full day from offshore, the land of the UK, that took us right on into an evening shoreside from Philly, a card that featured Jaron Boots Ennis. So a complete day of boxing. However, it didn't take all night. No sirree. Jaron Boots Ennis showed up like he was double parked outside on a fire hydrant, and somebody had alerted the traffic officers, huh? Yeah! And so with that and his performance, we got a chance to see yeah! So we're right back at it, you guys. We're right back at it. We're going to talk about that and then a little more as we, go on into our show. Man, let me tell you something. You got to be prepared for everything, huh? You really do. In this life, in this existence, there's so much that goes on, man. There's so much. But you got to be ready. But you have to admit, though, that's a funny little thing, you know. Stormy come up with these little quips. And the worst part of it is like, if it happens to relate to you or your fighter or, you know, the fighters themselves and everything, man, it make them mad as hell. But guess what? It shit is funny, man. It's funny. Grow up, get a damn sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not out here trying to hurt nobody. I'm just out here having some good times, talking boxing with all of you and you with me, huh? But it is what it is. Shit, man. With that being what it is, hell, I might play that throughout my damn show this morning since he had the performance that he had, huh? But he didn't have it against one of the top tier dudes, huh? So in a way, some of us cry some tears, huh? Yeah, some of us, we cry some tears. But hey, listen, Jerron is a good fighter. We only want to see him test himself against some of the best fighters that's out there for him to test himself against. Right? Yeah, that's what we want to see. And it's time for him to give it to us. Time for him to give it to us. You know? Because guess what? We ain't making memes and songs and stuff about everybody, huh? You gotta be a little special to get that. I was expecting Lionel Richie to come right on across the screen and get busy. It's appropriate, don't you think? Penny loafers, don't you walk on by. Penny loafers, don't you make me cry. Oh, my man, let me tell you. Let me check with Cash App. EJ sent a Cash App. He says, penny loafers and still penny loafers. Yeah, you better believe it. It ain't gonna never stop. Nope. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that way. Ain't that what Roy Jones used to say? It's gonna be that way, baby. Yeah. Huh? In fact, talking about Roy Jones, Roy used to have it. He say, yeah. Listen, you gotta have some fun when you're doing this. Thank you for the Cash App there, EJ. Appreciate you, brother. Let me do a quick roll call, see who we got in the building this morning. It seems like people are rolling on in, and I want to acknowledge you guys. Drew Titan was first out there, my brother, partner in crime, saying yes, sir. And we got Sheriff Deputy, the Max, Stephen L. out there saying sensei. Freedom's March is in the building saying yo. Universal Truth is out there saying salute sensei in chat. Eric Jordan out there saying Stormybman salute sensei. Who else we got there? Macadus Mac of the South in the building saying salute to the Grand Master. And we got KG in the building saying salute Stormy. What's good with you, KG? Who else we got? Stephen L says green beans better than lima beans. Well, it was for last night, that's for sure. Huh? Lima beans can only be served up one way, huh? And I think he had his rice on the side. Green beans, you can make a casserole out of it. Stretch it a little longer. You see what I did there? You're welcome. Jonathan Simon in the building saying, salute OG, blessings to you and much love, especially blessings to the chat. And hit that like button. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. T-Berry, where you been? Is in the building saying peace. Stormy B-Man in chat. What's good with you, T-Berry? I noticed your absence. Coach Hudson in the building. What's going on with you, Coach? Good to see you out there this morning. Salute to you. And who else we got? Eric Jordan says, I thought Lima was going to give Penny Loafers a better fight, but Penny Loafers put Lima to sleep. Good night. You know what? We could talk about that a little bit. Because I'm going to tell you something. He nailed Ennis before Ennis tried to come back and, well, Ennis, I shouldn't say try. Before Ennis came back and overwhelmed him. But he did nail him a shot very cleanly. But he wasn't supposed to start off like that. I think he had opening fight jitters. It kind of reminded me of when Peter McNeely fought Mike Tyson. When the bell rang, he ran right at Mike Tyson and tried to attack Mike like Mike was known to attack other people. And ended up getting caught with counter shots through his kamikaze type approach to things. And though Lima didn't start off in a kamikaze way, as soon as Boots began to close in on distance on him, he looked to throw a counter shot, it landed, and then he looked to go in exchanges, and Boots, just more experienced fighter, took care of him right away in that instance. It's happened before. Yeah. NBA D Nice is in the building saying, salute Sensei, what's good with you? Brother Code 10 as well, what's happening? Salute to you. Ratchet since 91 is in the building saying, salute. And let's see who else we got. KG says, my granny used to make some good lima beans. Hey man, I grew up eating lima beans. I'm not even complaining. You know what I'm saying? That's what helped put some of this meat on the Stormy B-Man's bones. Eating stuff like that, bro. And some of that sweet meat and everything. Yeah, I grew up on that. I ain't gonna lie. Jose Diaz in the building saying, good morning, Stormy. Good morning to you, Jose. I hope you're doing a little bit better. I know you've had some rough go lately. Hope that you coming around. Yeah. And everybody else is kind of saluting one another at the very moment. But yeah, man. Boots didn't waste no time. He just went on in there and took care of Uisma. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I've heard many people say it different ways. But that's why we just say Lima, you know, because it's one of those names, and unless you're well practiced in saying it, it's like it drives you crazy, you know, trying to pronounce the guy's name. I'm not one to like to mispronounce someone's name. So let's see here. Man, what's up with Sandy Ryan? I be getting those alerts on Instagram when she be posting stuff. And sometimes it's like she be kind of borderline like being risque. Don't you think? Anybody ever seen her? Because she comes up on my feed as a fighter, you know. but she be posting stuff. No, Jose, I was talking about his first name, Uisma. You know, that I know Lima is the proper way to pronounce the last name, but I was talking about his first name, Uisma. U-I-S-M-I, you know, A, whatever. So that's what I'm trying to say, you know. We get caught up. But hold on a second. I'm trying to change out some stuff from my my queue, fights that have passed already that I don't have to keep in the queue, so I can pull my images up a little bit quicker. Jose says, I don't know how you say that one either. Yeah, he's Portuguese, man. Portuguese. Angolan, kind of adopted by way of Portugal. Yeah. But how many of you had a chance to watch Jimmy Bernard? What's good with you? How many of you had a chance to watch the earlier card with Allen versus Makhmudov? You know, I keep talking about watching boxing, right? Dude, that ended up being a good fight. Those dudes are on the level of where they should be facing one another. And the irony is, like, leading up to the fight, Dave Allen, who has a real affable personality, he's like known to say anything out of his mouth, but it's always said with some intelligence mixed into it, whether he's cracking the joke or he's being sarcastic, but he's really being truthful at the same time. He talked about the fact that Makhmudov could knock him out in 3 rounds. I never heard a fighter say that, right? Just openly say, oh yeah, man, I might get knocked out in 3 rounds if I'm not careful. But dude, he had him going. He had Makhmudov going in one of those rounds. He had landed some hooking shots, and I thought he was trying to set him up for a big left hook. But a lot of the times when he got close to Makhmudov, he wouldn't work. It was like he was resting because Makhmudov can't fight on the inside. So it's like here you got one guy that don't want to fight and the other guy who too tired or don't have the conditioning to fight. And this is where I talk about the fighters not being in the proper shape. I say it all the time. That fight was scheduled for 12 when it should have been scheduled for 8 or 10. Because neither one of those guys are going to set the world ablaze fighting 12 rounds, I'm telling you. But it was entertaining. And they had different skill sets. And here we have Makhmudov trying to box, trying to paw with the jab and throw that right hand down. And Allen wouldn't move his head. He just had his gloves up like, dish, 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 taking shots. I'm like, man, this is like watching a Rocky movie, bro. It was crazy, but entertaining at the same time. But we need fights like that in boxing too, because a lot of times when you have fights like that, you can kind of systematically pick apart like what's happening, what should be happening, what's not happening, and waiting to see if someone can make an adjustment to be in a better place. Neither guy made an adjustment in that fight. They fought the entire fight the same way. And even in the last round, when it became obvious that Allen would need maybe a knockdown or two, if not a knockout, to win, he partially went for it. And I say partially, And it wasn't because of what was coming back at him, because he, Makhmadov was so dangerous. He was out of shape, bro. That bro probably, talking about Allen, he probably spent more time at the dinner table and the bar than he did in the gym. Or at least the equivalent, Oh, it's happy hour. Let me get out of here to the gym. I'm telling you, that's what it was. Huh? Just imagine if he was in shape. Now, Makhmadov, that's just who he is. He's just a big lumbering oaf of a guy. And I think Peter Fury, the trainer of the Fury family, said it best when he says he has the heart of a pea. Like green peas. That big old dude has the heart of a pea. Man, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Salute to Junior the Truth out there. What's going on with you, Junior? I caught you live earlier. Man. That Big Mark looking every bit like fee, fi, fo, fum, right? Walking around, got them damn Tourette's where he be shaking his neck and shit. Oh, what the hell? Frankenstein's monster been released into boxing. And I ain't lying, right? Am I the only one that think about Frankenstein when I see that mark? Come on now. Let me test the line and see if it's working okay. Okay, we good on the call-in line. So we're going to open things up. Let some people call in this morning. Remember, only one at a time. So if you guys want us to, take multiple calls today, come in, speak your piece. We could have a quick conversation on it and then let somebody else call. But the lines are officially open. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's get it going. Let's kick it off. Jose Diaz says, what's the name of that brand? The Jolly Green Giant. Oh, Green Giant. Yeah. Dave Allen said he might KO me in 3 rounds. Even in order to say some foolishness like that, he must be thinking like, this ain't going the distance because I ain't got no stamina. We do need characters in the sport of boxing, though. We do. It's like, hey, just like you can have somebody who is the pound for pound, like a Bud Crawford or whatever, you still need a character or two in the sport too, man. Just for great sound bites and shit to laugh at. You know what I mean? And that's what he provides. When they started calling him the Cinderella Man, I was like, uh-oh, they really reaching now. Beating Johnny Fisher doesn't turn you into the Cinderella Man. Okay, we got 804 in the building. I believe that's the brother KG. What's happening, man? How you feel? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Tony? It's been a long time.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you? What's going on, chat? How is everybody doing this Sunday morning? I took it upon myself to work some overtime this weekend, Stormy. So 16 hours, 7 days this week. I came in yesterday morning, helped out supervising inventory, and I'm in today, crunching numbers today. And I said, let me take a break and go and give you a call.
Okay, that's cool. I just want to tell you, they don't appreciate you, don't you?
I know.
Okay. I just want that, before we get that out the way, and we could go and talk about what we're gonna talk about. But I just wanted to put that out there to you. They don't appreciate you. So okay.
I work for the government, so I know they don't care about me.
Oh shit. Huh?
I know they don't care about me.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I know you was asking about the fight you were just talking about. I wanted to talk about the Guido and Ferrell fight.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying his name wrong. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually Barrier, like Perrier water.
Yeah.
Barrier.
Yeah.
Because he's from Canada. That's kind of like French. Barrier.
I was telling the guys in the back, and I don't know if you were back there when I was talking about it, but I wasn't all the way disappointed in Barrier. I kind of was, because it like going down the line, Guido is going to have to tighten up.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be able to outman every person he fights.
Right.
And that's what he did with Barrier last night. He outmanned him.
He did.
Somebody in that corner, in the crowd, somebody said something to Guido, because fourth round, Guido flipped the switch.
He did. I noticed it as well.
Before that, Tony, you can't tell me you didn't appreciate those short, compact punches that Barrier was throwing inside of the wide punches that Guido was throwing.
Right.
You could see him pop Guido's head back. I'm like, man.
Yep. He was being very effective. And whatever the switch they got flipped for him, my thoughts are they told him about that old adage about don't allow this guy to make him feel like he belonged in there with you.
Yeah.
You've been in there with better fighters, higher ranked and classed fighters, and you need to show it, because you need to take that away from him. And I believe that's what happened. And you're spot on with your observation, because I saw the very same thing. Guido has taken a couple of losses that are unfortunate, because the Jonathan Rice fight where the cut happened like in the 6th round or whatever, and that was beyond the point where they could stop a fight because of the cut, right? And they went to the scorecards, but the scorecards had Vianello winning, but it was a TKO because he can't continue. So Rice won the fight. So that sucked, because you could go back and look at the scorecards and see where he was winning the fight against Rice, of course. But the cut after the 4th round happened in the 6th round, I think, or the 7th, and they stopped it in the 8th because it was bleeding so bad, and it was just very unfortunate. So that fight, and then the Effie Ajaba loss, where that was a split situation where either one of them could have won the fight.
Either one of them,
And so he lost that one. So Guido is not a bad fighter. I'm sorry?
He fought Richie Torres too.
Right. Now the Torres fight, something happened in that I noticed about him, and maybe you might have picked up on this too. He wasn't mentally right for that fight, because all he did was hold Richard. He didn't try to box him and keep him at the end of his jab. Maybe there was something going on in his life personally, because it happens, believe it or not. Some people don't think that these fighters have absence of mental faculties, because they do. Remember, these are men who get punched in the face for a living. So it's like something was going on, because Torres wasn't such a Tasmanian devil ripping into him or something that he couldn't handle. It's just he wasn't there that night, and Torres won that fight. But I believe if they were to fight again, he could outbox Torres. But at the same time, in last night's fight, like you said, somebody said something to him and say, hey, don't let this turn into another Torres. You understand? And he was like, oh. And those shots that he began to land were beautiful.
And it was heavy punches.
Yeah.
Like they weren't meant to actually, you know what I'm saying, land points to the he wasn't looking for points, put it like that. Even if this Vieira had his damn guard up, it didn't matter. He was punching through. He was just, go be the bigger man. And that's what I took from it. I said, somebody told you, bro, get your ass in here and be the bigger man.
And you know what else?
He's actually fighting like the bigger man. I was like, he's not looking for the points. He's looking for the fact that Barriere is not necessarily the strongest guy. So if I hit him, even if I hit his glove, I can move him. And all I got to do is move him.
Right.
That's all.
And you know what else was probably a huge determining factor? Because they had mentioned that Barriere had been a chief sparring partner for Tyson Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Fury ain't no puncher.
No.
But he's a big man. So Barriere might have come in with a false sense of confidence there because, you know, Vianello can similar dimensions to Fury, albeit still a couple of inches shorter. But he got heavy hands. And that's why F.A. and him were, you know, back and forth in their fight because we know that F.A. got that big right hand, right? But Vianello can punch and crack too. So it's like they were both being cautious but fighting at the same time and everything. And maybe Barriere didn't realize he was in there with a guy that could really crack like he can. I would not want to be on the end of those shots that Vianello was hitting him with when he decided to turn it up.
Absolutely not.
And he was punching with some accuracy too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Punch placement is very important. And when you have heavyweights, and the only thing, and you know, it's funny because the knockdown happened right as I was thinking this as I'm watching the fight. I noticed, like what you said, that Vianello was putting some mustard on those shots. And what I was thinking to myself is he needs to throw these shots in combination. Stop just boom, I'm going to hit you with this. Boom, I'm going to hit you with that. You know, he needs to boom, 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 you know, like that. But he caught him and got him in trouble and then put him down. And I was like, okay, but he did throw a succession of shots that ended up putting, you know, Barriere on the canvas. And I don't think he ever recovered when he barely survived the round after getting up. And it looked like the ref was just about to jump in there and stop it. So he goes back to his corner.
After that first knockdown.
Yeah.
You can tell when you walk back to that corner. When you back to the corner, they had to sit him down because I was like, his legs are shot. I said, he's not going to be right when he comes back. And I knew it. I had that feeling, and Guido knew it too.
Yep.
Came back out that next round, he jumped right on. Like you're supposed to.
And that shot that he hit him with, it was like a glancing off to the side temple shot because his equilibrium was already jacked up and he just went down. He couldn't even catch himself as he was going down. He was like, you know. But yeah, it was good. It's always good to see the big men have those type of efforts, right? It's like because you get a chance to see something from a different vantage point because of the strength and the power that they possess being heavyweights. And how really all it takes is one shot, like they say, you know. But I do believe that Vianello is a perfect example of a fighter who has had some losses that he's learned from and has come back with a different type of mentality. It's one of the things that I keep preaching. I talk to some of the brothers behind the scenes and I say, you know, in this sport where we see so many bad decisions meted out, if they would just give the correct decisions, Stop favoring dudes and stuff like that. Give the correct decisions, because the sport will grow from that. It will do is force the guy who lost to go back and look in the mirror and address what his issues are. And if he really wants to be in the sport, if he wants to elevate his position, he's going to make adjustments and come back for the better for it. Guys who are pretenders, they're going to fade off into the sunset and be off the road and off the tracks. And other guys will learn vicariously through the observation of what happens in these instances, because that's how life truly is. We sometimes can learn from someone else. We sometimes have to have it happen to us. And then other times we have to decide, is it what we really want or not? You know what I'm saying? So those variables always come into play.
Look, you said something as far as the judging and everything. I'm going to be honest. I think we need to do a complete overhaul, almost like Congress and Senate clean house when it comes to the judges. Because last night, you probably see, I know you've seen the Thompson and, what was it, Thompson and Lopez, or Thompson and the Hispanic kid that was showboating the whole fight.
Diaz, yeah.
Yeah, Diaz. Two of those damn judges was almost still swayed for the showboating.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And the kid had a point taken away, and you saw how close that call was.
Yeah. The point being taken away is the difference in who won.
Exactly, and that doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
And the commentary said it. They said, I hope these judges aren't being sold off of this showmanship that Diaz is trying to showcase. But he was showing off more than he was throwing any punches. You can look at the punch stats at the end of the fight. That was I understand robbery, and I understand like judges being asleep, and that's just pathetic. You telling me a judge was entertained by a guy dancing and putting his hands to the air versus punches thrown and landed?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all either. Plus, the kid Thompson, he was making the fight. He was pushing him back. He was the aggressor, and he was scoring the shots, hunting him down. Now, all of his shots weren't landing cleanly, but he was the aggressor, and he was making the fight. The kid Diaz was moving around, throwing shots here and there, pot shotting. Now, I will admit, he was very accurate because Thompson's couldn't get his head off the line to save his life in that fight. They need to take him. I'm sorry?
I said he wasn't even attempting to. I don't know if you heard me make that comment backstage. I said, bro, I can't stand how this kid throws his jab. His head is directly behind his own jab.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but again, we're talking about that goes back to what's happening in the gym. Now, somebody is working with him in the gym, and they're seeing that and not making any adjustments to it, not teaching him what we were talking about. And listen, it really looks bad when the performance comes out and you say, wow, that kid, blah, blah, blah. But no, what about the people who prepared him? That's where, I come in and I say, you know what? I'm very critical of when, and the kid's very young. I mean, it's like, you're going to teach him to get knocked the hell out just by not giving him the basics. I have to wonder, like, what in the world be going on in the gyms, bro? I just don't understand it.
A lot of bad habits. I seen a kid do a spin move and somebody celebrated. He actually performed. I was like, that's not where you're supposed to be champion. We're not.
No.
Like, a lot of this stuff, and it shows up at the wrong time, and I say it. And guys don't believe me when I say it. And I point it out. I see a lot of fighters in between fights doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, but at the same time, they'll try to tell you, this is my life, this. I understand, but you chose this life in the hurt system.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt. You can't play this.
Right.
You can't. And a lot of guys, I see guys smoking cigarettes, drinking, hanging out, staying out late, and they think they can just show up to the ring and perform. It doesn't work that way.
That's what I was saying about the Makhmadov-Allen fight. If Allen was in shape, he could have beat Makhmadov easily. But he wasn't. He was not in shape.
I'm sorry. But he said something at his post-fight interview. He said, what did he say, Stormy? He said, maybe I'm not good enough, or something to that effect. And I wanted to be able to call bullshit. You can't say you're not good enough, bro. You went 12 rounds as a heavyweight. That's a tall order. I'm 250. That's a tall order.
Yeah, and you know what? Because, again, like you said, he said, maybe I'm not good enough, but you were willing to receive all the accolades for knocking out Johnny Fisher, and you were even willing to buy into the hype of them saying, like, we'd like to see you in with someone like Deontay Wilder, you know, and all of that kind of foolishness. But if you're not going to hit the road, if you're not going to be in the gym, putting yourself in dogged shape, then what you're going to do is be second. And he was last night against a guy who was pretty much made to order for him. Was just a big dude, and not much bigger than him, because he's 6'3", and Makhmadov is 6'6", and there was like maybe 3 pounds difference in their weights, which tells you everything you need to know, that maybe Allen could have used to push the dinner table back a few more times and run a couple of more miles. Huh? It's like serious. Or push back them Pabst Blue Ribbons, huh? Because that's... Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbons. That's because, don't he come across like maybe that might be his thing? Yeah. See, again, and it's the total looking through a guy. If I was working with Allen, I'd tell him, give me some more. Give me some more. He'd be like, oh, come on, Stormy. Give me some more. You know why? Because he already knows. I told you earlier, when I said, not you per se, but when I was talking in this live, I said, he's an intelligent guy. And he's very sarcastic sometimes, but he's observant. He's like, when he talked about Makhmadov, this guy could take me out in 3 rounds. Well, he made sure he didn't get knocked out in 3 rounds when he fought him. But the fight was scheduled for 12. He already knew he wasn't in condition for 12. He knew this. So why'd you sign the contract for a 12-round fight? I had said he'd been better off if it was a 8 to 10 round fight. That's what I said earlier in this show. Because, again, when you know who you're dealing with and what you're talking about, this is how you assess. Now, Makhmadov was in there against Vianello. Vianello stopped him in 8 rounds. You see? The irony is they both fought on the same day again, just one in America and the other one over there. But they fought. So Vianello is at least above those guys, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to even bring him down. But what I'm saying is he wants to still be in the thick of things. He wants to fight. Makhmadov is finding his way because the Adjikabiel loss, what happened in that fight was he realized he don't have it all. He did, because he was stunned by being stopped by Cabiel like he was. And then he lost to Vianello. But guess what? Again, how when you can tell where somebody, KG, he was trying to freaking box. And I chuckle like you do, but he was trying. Do you understand? He was trying. You know, a try beats not trying, don't it? And he was trying. He was pumping his jab a little bit. He was throwing that right hand behind it. He was trying to keep Dave at a certain distance. And when he got too close, he was grabbing him. So it's like, you know, when a dude loses, if he really wants to be there, I said, if a guy decided, does he really want to do this or not? Makhmadov was trying, bro. And I'm going to tell you something. I have a love and appreciation for that. because he could have dogged it, but he didn't. And then when the fight was over, he grabbed the damn microphone and was saying, hey, David's a good fighter. He pressed me. And, he was very sincere.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy who can be taught.
Yeah, most definitely. But I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, Stormy, because you said free it up so you can get multiple calls, and my heart might be trying to call in, or somebody else might be trying to call in.
Yeah, when I was backstage with you guys yesterday, it kept booting me out for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know what that was about. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know either. I'm watching it, and then boom, it said, I got this message that said, your internet or something is need, but I'm watching the fight on the TV just like y'all watching it, and it's like it booted me out like 3 times, and I was like, man, this is crazy. So yeah, but that's what was happening.
Hey man, I don't know, but you always know, you know what I'm saying, when you got backstage, pull on up, you know what I'm saying, we watch the fights.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through it like we always do. But I'm gonna free the lines up. I'm gonna let somebody else call in. I want to thank you for answering the bell. And shout out to the chat. Shout out to you. And everybody, you know what I'm saying, if y'all like good boxing stories, man, come on over to Tales to the B-side, man. I got some 2 good stories over there from either active fighters, retired fighters, or, you know what I'm saying, other boxing personalities.
Yeah, you can put your link for that in the chat too. Please do that.
Okay.
Did you want to say anything about Boots before you go?
You call them penny loafers. I call them Crocs. Some people call them socks. Boots is my guy, but at the same time, it's to the point for me. You got to shit or get off the pot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want him to be thrown into the category as Tank. You know what I'm saying? You got 30 plus fights and nothing of significance. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's too deep into your career. Or that's too many fights that the Ennis family has put you through at this point in your career that now you have to make statements every time you get in the ring. And I want fighters to always make a statement when they go to perform, but you shouldn't have heavy emphasis that you have to perform. You have to look a certain way based off of your resume, and everybody's going to, you know what I'm saying, give you the criticism that you ain't got nobody on there. You haven't cleaned out any divisions yet. So, and I don't want him to fall into the fold of Roy Jones Jr. The special features, the clicks and whistles, and then all of a sudden we get to a point that it fizzles out because people with fundamentals find them out.
Right.
So it's a slippery slope, and if Eddie's going to wheel and deal in the way he is, I hope Eddie takes risk with him if no one else. Take the risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I don't want it to be a black or white thing, but take the risk and put this kid into fights that he's going to have to actually dig for something. So we can actually put him in that position to say, man, Boots, actually, as a flamboyant fighter, stood the test of time. Because usually flamboyant fighters, they phase out. Because those special features end up, you're saying, getting found out eventually.
Well, see, let's say this, though. The reason that it hasn't been found out is because he hasn't tread those waters where that to allow that to happen. This man has now had 35 fights, and the last 10 have basically been the same type of circumstances. Either the guy didn't have enough experience, or the guy was smaller than him, or the guy was not a guy on the level that we perceive him to be on, where you could say, whom has he fought in his last 10 fights where you could say, wow, this is 50-50. I don't know if Boots can get it done tonight. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. When James Toney fought Roy Jones Jr., we were like, man, I don't know. James is this and that, and Roy is this and that. And, it was like, and then it turned out Roy just had his way, which was like that, put that separation there. Boots has not even had a fight like that yet. And he's got 35 fights, bro. That's a career for some people.
Yeah.
That's a career for some people. And he's 28. The next thing will be, and I hate to say it this way, but it's a freaking fact. They're going to say his body is wearing out. You know, because he got a lot of fights.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. That'll be the next thing. And what will be the worst part about it is toiling against nondescript opponents where we haven't even learned nothing about them at this point. The one thing that we know is that he can do what he did last night to people that don't belong in the ring with him. And even he said at the press conference, I'm going to show this guy he's not on my level. You see, when it was said by Maya Angelou, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time.
I believe.
Well, he said that about Lima. A lot of us were hopeful that Lima, nobody wanted to see Boots lose, right? We want to see him in a competitive fight. That's the whole thing. Especially when somebody is really talented, you want to see them competitive, because the competitiveness will bring out other qualities that will give you a greater impression of who we're looking at. You know, when a guy gets dropped, will he get up and fight back? When a guy takes a good shot and gets stunned, can he shake it off and refocus? You know, when a guy is behind, can he make an adjustment and come back and prevail? These are all the type of intangibles that fighting nondescript opponents don't give you to show the people who support you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just articulated everything that is wrong with Tank Davis and what I said, but yet and still he gets mad. And people are said to be like, okay, you're haters. No, you're not a hater. Do you, you watch football, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, a little bit. What's your sport? Basketball? Outside of boxing, I'm talking.
Boxing.
Okay, but no, the point I was trying to make is like in team sports, if you got a favorite team, let's just say the Cleveland or whatever.
I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan.
Okay, Arizona Cardinals. Okay, you enjoy when they blow somebody out. You be like, man, we stumped them. But every once in a while, you want to see somebody give your team some challenge, some pushback, right? Because you want to see them gut it out. You want to see them come from behind. Man, we were behind the whole game, and that touchdown won the game for us. You know, that kind of thing. It's the same in boxing. It's the same. And see, with guys in boxing being able to control that narrative by fighting tune-ups all the time, or guys that are, like I said, nondescript, then it gives the impression that they are better than they truly are because they've had no pushback. You know? And that's what we're not saying that you got to go and fight. If there's a top 10 of elite guys, you got to fight 8 of them. No, 2 or 3 is cool, but none? Come on, man. That's the problem. None.
Mm-hmm. None. You look away, and then to your fans, and then on the back end, you plateau as a fighter.
Yeah.
I call that's the frog in the pot in the boiling water syndrome. You in that pot, and you getting comfortable. You're adjusting, and then when the water gets too hot, you ain't got the strength to jump out. And that's what's gonna happen with Boots. He's gonna cross paths with somebody where he's already plateaued, and the special bells and whistles ain't gonna click, and none of the stuff gonna pop, and he's gonna look mediocre against somebody with fundamental solid fundamentals.
Right.
And that's gonna be bad because, like, Stormy, we can teach boxing inside and out, but nothing beats solid fundamentals.
That's right.
With heart.
With
drive.
That's why when Roy began to lose, starting with that loss to Tarver, what happened is when the athleticism begins to wane, right? Those things that kind of help provide separation because of speed and you know the ability to make a guy miss by mere inches or an inch. Well, when you slow down a little bit, that inch closes, you know, and it's like now you're available to be hit. So then you're supposed to be able to rely upon your boxing skills. Well, Roy was never a great boxer. He was a fast boxer, and he could hit you with stunning shots. But he wasn't even a one-punch knockout type guy either, like a Julian Jackson. So he had to have advantages that culminated around an assortment of things. But anytime he had trouble with anyone, it was someone who was very technical. And I've heard you say that too, and I agree with it totally, that someone who has great technical proficiency, they keep their guard up, they keep their chin tucked, they jab, they hook, they know every punch in the arsenal, and they know how to protect themselves and stuff. That person is going to be around for a minute because with all that other noise around him goes down, they're going to be able to still weather the storm and right the ship by sticking to those fundamentals, which are their foundation. And the other thing that Boots needs to be concerned with, just like Jose Diaz said in the chat right there, he says that not in his hometown. He's not going to be able to fight all the elite fighters that are potential opponents in his hometown. He's going to have to go somewhere else. He's going to have to go in unfamiliar territory. Sometimes he might even have to leave the states. But he's going to have to do some things. And if he can't do any of that, he doesn't really deserve the consideration that people will give, because that's another part of holding on to that umbilical cord, huh? Dude, you got to sever that. You're a grown-ass man. Get your ass on out there and see what you can do.
And leave, like you said, leave home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan. Like, and when it comes to YouTube, I've been doing this maybe going on 6 years now. I got people here in Virginia that know me because of YouTube, but I can go to Atlanta, I can go to New York, and people know me more. I'd rather be seen outside, away from home. You know me at home. You know me here. Bruce, you gotta break and get out of that comfort zone. Stop letting. I understand Eddie is able to house you in Philly and let you fight there, but go spread your wings. You got to go off to college. You got to go see the world. You got to go travel abroad a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it might offset you a little bit. And that's what I was looking for with Lima. I had no thought of Lima winning, but I said with the fundamentals, I said he should be able to offset Boots long enough for the critics, the fans, the people that don't even think about Boots at all, everybody that gives him the nicknames, they get to see him go through something.
Right.
With somebody with a no name. And of course, Monday morning we're going to get the criticism. Oh, he struggled with this guy. Or why did he go take so long to finish his fight like most people usually do? But at the same time, guys like me and you will be able to take that and dissect that and say, damn, Lima was not a trash can, not a plumber, not this. We were able to put push together and put Boots into a weight, but we didn't get that opportunity. Boots went in, jumped him, and shot him the hell up and got him up out of there, and he went home in Ontario.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
People gonna criticize it. Yeah, people are gonna criticize it, but at the same time, at the root of it all, he did what he was supposed to do. Boxers don't get paid for overtime. If
Right.
you're in there with somebody below your level, you're supposed to showcase that person as that.
There you go. And then what you're supposed to do in the aftermath is to not continue to fight someone at that level. Challenge yourself.
Exactly.
Test yourself.
Exactly. And look, I hope him saying it out loud at the end of the fight, and then Eddie saying it out loud at the end of the fight, you have to face your own integrity. Y'all said this out loud. Can y'all go behind the scenes and still say the same thing and put him in a fight that's challenging versus looking for another no-name? We can't do that. Too many names were named off, and Eddie was champion calling out Virgil too much. So if that's the case, you can't go backwards now. Too many names were called.
Right. Right.
You're telling me which division holds. So if the division holds that, make one of those fights.
Right.
5 names, 5, 6 names that you could potentially fight. You can't then tell me you won't fight 7, 8, 9, or 10. There's 6 names that's right there on the surface that you should be fighting. You got your tune-up out the way. You don't need to. You got one guy up out of there in less than a round, less than a minute. Stop playing.
And not only that, when you have a performance like that, don't take 6 to 8 months to come back.
You can't do that either.
Bring your butt back within a month or two, because you really got no workout, did you?
Nope. He should be back in December.
Yeah.
Yep. Close the out, Eddie. Let's see Boots in December. So.
And that right there, what we just said, that's real boxing. If whomever's out there listening to us have this conversation right now, that doesn't mean that we're trying to drive Boots. No, that means that we want to see him, but turn that into a springboard for progressing, going forward. It's like, don't just, you stopped this guy in one round. Now you're going to sit back and, be like another 6 to 7, 8 months before you come back. Nah. That's not good. That's not good at all.
You had a good camp. You had sparring with the legendary Canelo. We need to see you back.
Right.
Immediately.
Yeah. And as many cards that Matchroom and Hearn put on, he could do that easily. So, but yeah, brother, I appreciate your call, man. Thank you so much for supporting the show and calling in. Until the next time, and don't forget to put that link in the chat.
I will. I was about to say, Tony, you gotta stop acting like my big brother, man. You're gonna keep me on the phone. We will talk all day.
Well, that's what happens when you're having good boxing conversation. You can always find more to say.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good Sunday to you, man. Enjoy your weekend, rest of the weekend, and I hope world loves you enough to have tomorrow off.
Yes. Yeah, too bad I gotta go in, but I'm gonna be like you because they don't appreciate me, so I'll be doing my thing the same way tomorrow.
All right, so next time.
All right, take care. Peace to you, bro. Yeah, that's the brother KG calling in. Great first call of the day. Great first call. The lines are open again. Please call in, show some love and support for the show, and let's have a conversation about boxing. You don't have to talk about Boots. You don't have to talk about Dave Allen and Makhmudov. You could talk about what happened on the undercards, or if you so desire, we can talk about what's coming up later in the month. On the 25th, we've got Joe Parker taking on Fabio Wardley. Another showdown and battle of heavyweights. Listen, I think this is going to be one worth tuning in to, you guys. Yeah. It's a good fight. So let's see. Let me see. Fabio Wardley. That'll be October 25th when that fight takes place with these guys. And the undercard consists of a few guys that I'm not familiar with. So they're going to be the main focus, Wardley and Parker. Unfortunately, it's on pay-per-view for DAZN, which, again, that's Frank Warren doing this foolishness. Yeah, we had a few more people that pulled into the building. We got Joseph Townsend. Joe Townsend, he said, salute Stormy. Today is my Pop's 77th birthday. And Pop's got the pimping on the grill. Beef and pork ribs, Texas sausage, barbecue chicken, chili beans, potato salad, and cornbread. Where you live at, man? Give me your address. Don't come in here writing that in my chat and don't give me a plate. Salute to your Pops, man. Joseph Townsend. I hope you guys enjoy yourself and have a wonderful day, man. And celebrate your Pops. Von D Gaming came into the building. Salute to you. Dale.Riv is in the building. What's happening with you? Who else we got? Felix Nunez in the building. Don Vaughn. Yeah. And you guys, you see KG put that link in the chat. Go support KG over there with what he's doing on the channel. Them boxing conversations over there, man. And interviews. So, but yeah. The lines are still open. Let's hear from someone else that wants to talk about some boxing, man. Let's hear. Yeah, that layout, that spread sounds mighty nice, man. I wish I was close. I'd be standing right up there with my plate. I'd be like I'm one of them folks in the unemployment line. I'd just be standing, waiting my turn. Yeah, NBA D Nice says, I think Boots is a big talker, but 154 is stacked, so he can't keep fighting lesser competition. I believe that is very true, brother. Very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, Joe Townsend, I hope you guys have a wonderful time, man. Enjoy your time with your dad, man. And take those memories into consideration when he's cooking it. He's still cooking like that too? Oh, man, that's a blessing, bro. That is a blessing. Mm-hmm. See, we were going to have another big card on the 25th, but now that Fondura and Thurman have pulled out of their situation, hand injury, my eye. Yeah, right. Joshua Buatsi is coming back. He'll be taking on somebody. That's another Queensberry fight. And then in November, we'll have, of course, Haney and Norman Jr., Benavidez and Yard. So, but, you know, let's talk about it. Let's see here. Just trying to look at the fight schedule and see what we got coming up. They say Fresh Clark is fighting again, and he's taking on that dude Toshiba. Is that gonna be on Woodley and Parker? I don't think so. It's on the same date though. Kayla Mayer at the end of the month on October 30th, that's a Thursday, she's gonna fight this girl Mary Spencer, 154 pounds. Let me see something. Okay, we back, family. We back. Sorry about that. But when that kind of thing happens, I have to refresh everything. So see, I learned how to handle that when that happens. But sometimes they do these things. But it's a bump in the road, huh? It's not a pothole or a crater. So let me see. I'm gonna double check. Rod Neal, what's good with you, bro? Okay, yeah, the phone lines is good. So Joe, you could call back with your call, bro. You could call back. Jimmy Bernard, what's good with you? Yeah. I wanted to hear what Joe had to say when he called in. Yes, sir. Okay, fam. Sorry about that again. I ended up just starting the whole laptop over, and that, you know, because I didn't end the stream. When that happens to me, I can bring the show back. It just takes a minute or two for it to refresh and everything. But we good. We good. I apologize for that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I've learned the ropes a little bit and learned how to come back from those mishaps like that. So I thank you all who decided to hang in there with me. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about, being able to persevere through the foolishness, man. Yeah. See, some of those who don't really ride with you in the proper way, they're gone, which is okay. Says we got 13 concurrent viewers. That's the solidity of my base right there, because a lot of those other people are just, you know, content stealers, people who come in here for the wrong reasons. But we're gonna be good. Yep. So the phone lines is good. Joe Townsend, you still out there, bro? If you had to go do something else, I understand. But we here. Lewis Hinton, what's good with you? Rod Neal, Jimmy Bernard. Oh yeah, Don Vaughn, Stormybman is eclectic, man, with my taste in movies, music, culture, all across the board, man. I've got a great deal to fortify. It's like this is not a shallow place to be. This place has many levels of depth. So you find yourself sticking around here, you can get something good in these parts. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Some people hear me when I'm being critical and things of that nature, and they just absorb that and take it as a negative. But you understand that I have a great deal of a platform that is worth somebody's time. Jose Diaz, he says, Joseph Townsend is eating that barbecue. What is old man doing? I wish I was there. Me too. You and me both, man. I could go for some ribs right now. Man. Yeah, I bet that's what he's doing over there, enjoying it. Man, what did he put down there? What? Let me go back to his comment in the chat here. What did he say? He said, where is it at? Trying to find his. He said, Pops got beef and pork ribs, Texas sausage, barbecue chicken, chili beans, potato salad, and cornbread. Man, don't you know my toes are balling up like that? Man. And it's Sunday too? Man, I sit down to a nice plate of that. I'll have the itis for like several hours. I'll be like, Drew Titan will be calling me later, talking about, hey, Stormy, you gonna be on the show? I'll be like, I guess so. Man. Well, it doesn't look like anybody else want to call in, man. I'm going to get ready to shut things down then, because you know what? All this talk about food making me hungry, and I need to get me something. But I'm not angry or nothing like that, but I'd rather give in to the taste buds, and rather eat a little earlier than later. So I appreciate everybody that came out here, man. Those of you that stuck around. We'll be back later in the evening with Drew Titan, and he's do the Strong House on his Painful Excellence channel. So that's what we'll do. Get ready to fade on into that aspect of our day. I hope that some of you get a chance to eat something good. Fill that belly up. So yeah. But it was a good call show where we had KG call in. That was awesome. And we can get ready to wrap things. Let's see here. But I'm gonna get ready to head it on out, you guys. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. This was number 180, so we're 20 away from 200 call-in shows. We would have hit that mark already, but I've taken time off here and there, decided not to do a show. But hey, you know, for those of you who stuck around, keep sticking around. Stormybman is always going to have something for you guys. Peace to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We up.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya.
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean, no, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Don't matter, man. It's all gonna be the same.
I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. I hit Crawford, but no clean shots, like with all my power. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He knows how to move and everything.
Oh, what a nice day. Look at Jessica. Jessica, what are you doing? You know you can't swim. Get away from the water, Jessica. Jessica, get away from the, oh my God. Somebody help Jessica, please, she can't swim. Go ahead, Jessica, run. Jessica, no. Oh my God. No, Jessica. No, the water is pulling her back in. Where's the lifeguard? Lifeguard, hurry up! You can't swim! Jessica, no! Lifeguard, please save her! Yes, do lifeguard! Save her, no! Please, Jessica! Oh, look, hey! Is that husband is coming? Oh, you one of them dead! Hey, please, save her! Jessica! They're coming now, they're here! Jessica!